I really want to talk today about self-discipline. It doesn't seem that important. You think you can make it without it. And I'm here to tell you it is more important than I ever even realized. So, self-discipline is the key to transforming intentions into achievements, right? Small daily actions into lasting success. That's kind of big. Every act of self discipline increases your confidence, your trust, your belief in yourself, your belief in your abilities, right? And so I'm telling you right now, self discipline has not been something I have really even been too concerned about, even thought was that big of a deal. But it's been something I've been very intentional about and working very hard on this year. So I started, it's only February, but I started towards the end of November. Really been intentional with the promises I make to myself and keeping them, with doing the hard, even on days I don't want to, even on times when there's 1,000 other things that seem easier, that seem funner. I can get caught up, on social media and not really put forth the effort I need to. So the self-discipline comes key on the days that it's hard to show up for myself. There are 5 mindsets to self-discipline. And if I remember correctly, these came from Tiger Woods when he was at the height of his golfing career. And let's be honest, he blew the golfing world apart in his achievements. And it came from self-discipline. So the first mindset of self-discipline is genius is 99% perspiration. Now let's think about that. Doesn't matter how great a mind you have, how fantastic an idea you have. If you don't take the actions, if you don't do the things, that idea just stays here. It doesn't go anywhere. So the idea is you take that idea and now you do the action. This is where the perspiration, the work comes in. Because if you do nothing with it, it's just a thought. It's nothing more. You got to do the hard work, the perspiration. Because a lot of people have fantastic ideas, but do nothing with them. And so they just stay there. And then eventually somebody else has the same idea and does something with it, and it becomes a big deal. And you're over there going, should have done it. So genius is 99% perspiration. Love that. Number 2, let the other guy get nervous. Well, really it's just about maintaining emotional control. If you cannot contain that emotional control, if you cannot have control over your emotions, what happens? You get worried, you get into self-doubt, you go down rabbit holes, you lean into fear, you lean into anger, those kinds of things. So you're getting ready to have a big event and you are so worried that you're not taking the time to come authentically you, that you are not taking the time to enjoy it. You're not going to show up as your best self because the worry, the fear, all of that comes in with your emotions. So be in control of your emotions. Ed Milet said, I want the people on my team to rise up to the standard I was setting every time. And I want everybody else to get nervous and flinch while I was calm. Think about that. If you are the calm in the storm, you're going to show up way better than if you are the nervous. So let the other guy get nervous. Number 3, don't just dominate, intimidate. You have to have the mindset that you aren't going to think like everyone else, that you are giving it differently. Here's the thing. I've always had a different perception. And for the longest time, I thought that uniqueness that I have was a flaw. I didn't know that that's kind of like my superpower, is to be able to see a different perspective. When you can come in with this different thought process and confidently come in with this different thought process, it's intimidating, but it's also freeing to you, because you quit worrying about whether anybody thinks your uniqueness is a power or not. As long as you understand that creative thinking is such a huge power, and it's not something to be embarrassed about, to be put down over. The amazing things that we get in life are because somebody thought outside the box. Absolutely make sure you are being authentically you and not necessarily fitting in everybody's box. Make your own. Number 4, have a sense of the historic. Make what you do mean something. It is your reputation, your name, what they say about you after you're gone. So you need to make what you're doing very historic, so that it's going to change your generational issues. It's going to change those who come behind you. It's going to change not just you, the things you do. Here's your power, guys. The things you do affect more than you. We always think we are so small, and the things we do only affect us. That's not true. But we've learned to play small through that thought process. But the truth of the matter is, the things we do affect those around us. And sometimes even on a bigger scale. People around us are affected by what we do. If I am going to affect somebody, it is going to be in a fantastic way. It is going to be by showing up my most true, authentic self, the best version of me I have available at that moment. When you're doing things, have a sense of the history. What are you leaving behind by what you're doing right now? I love that. 5, never ever be satisfied. Oh, how, yeah. I'll be honest, I always thought, if I could just make this much money, then I'd quit everything, and me and my husband would go travel all the time, and life would be good. But now, and it's funny because the older I got, the more you think I would believe that, right? Here I am, 60, and now my thought is, ooh, if I can create this dream, this vision, we can go and travel while I'm, doing a motivational speech somewhere. Travel while I am doing consulting with some company. Travel while I am, I'm adding this travel to my dreams. I'm not stopping my dreams. I just think that these dreams are going to be an awesome way to say, we're going to travel here, we're going to spend a few extra days, get to sightsee, get to play, get to build memories. But I'm not going to stop my dreams and just go travel. I have huge things I still want to do. I figure I got at least another 30 years left, so I might as well make them the best 30 years of my life. Work harder after I get what I want. A lot of people work to get what they want and then they stop. Well, I'm in this amazing era of growth. I'm in this amazing era of abundance. It hasn't showed up financially yet, but it will. But I am in this amazing era of starting this beautiful dream. And when I get to one part, I've already have other parts I'm starting to work on. I don't want just this one little thing. I want this big, huge thing. And I can't see me getting to a point where I don't want to be involved in helping others see their potential and helping others get their personal growth. I always see me as wanting to help others become more, because a few somebodies, I'll be honest, was amazing enough to show me I still had potential, to show me I still had the ability for more. So at what point do I want to quit doing that? When I'm dead, which means I am not going to stop working and growing and wanting more, because the minute I do, there may be that person I was meant to speak to that I don't speak to. And their growth either doesn't start or waits a few years down the road for the next person who's supposed to help them. So I have a lot I still want to do, and it's not going to stop. I am never going to be satisfied. I'm always going to want to help that next person. I'm always going to want to hit that next dream. I'm always going to want to keep moving forward and growing, because if I don't, I become stagnant. And once you become stagnant, you die. And I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for you. So never, ever be satisfied. Don't hit that and stop. Go, okay, this was just my next level. I'm going here now. Know that you are worthy of your dreams and make them huge. Okay, guys, the power of now. Don't delay. Don't wait. You have an idea, go do it. Here's the thing. I can guarantee this hasn't just happened to me. I get an idea and I think about it. And I think I'll do it later. And then later comes and I think about it again. All of a sudden it doesn't seem like that great of an idea, or it doesn't have the energy it had to it when I did that. I have been taking a Tony Robbins course, and it has been so amazing. I have grown a lot, but it was so funny because in the middle of one of his courses, I had an idea, and I literally stopped at the course and I went and did it. Now, normally I would have just wrote it down and went and done it afterwards, potentially, but I was like, if I don't do it now, I won't. And I knew that it was one of those things that if I didn't do it in the heat of the moment, I was going to talk myself out of it because it was scary. And so I literally stopped what I was doing, went and did the thought I had, and I came back. And now I was listening to Tony with a whole different energy, because I had just done something big. I had just done something scary, and I had just acted on something now. I acted when my energy and my emotions were at their highest. I guarantee that had more power than if I'd done it later. So if you have the ability to have a thought and can put it into action in that moment, go do it. It is the most empowering thing you can do with that thought. That immediate action while the energy's high, while your emotions are high, is absolutely the best. So, guys, I want you to think about self-discipline and decide that today is the day you're going to start it. And it doesn't have to start big. It really doesn't. I started my self-discipline journey, and this sounds dumb, with making my bed every day. How hard is that? It's not. But I didn't always used to. It would depend on how far behind I was. It would depend on 1,000 other things. Well, now I make my bed every single day. And then I followed that up by moisturizing my face, because I was horrible at that. Well, now I moisturize my face every day in the morning and every day in the night. Wow. 2 things of self-discipline that were really small that have made a difference. Because now I'm teaching myself that I can trust the promises I make to myself. So start out small. It doesn't have to be big. And I think the smaller you start out, one, the more on point you're going to be with it. And the more trust you are getting to yourself. So start small, but start today. Don't say, here's what I'm going to start tomorrow. Because the action is now, guys. So get out there, start with that one thing today, and do it tomorrow and the next day, and keep stacking it. This self-discipline has been a huge game changer for me, and I always used to think it wasn't that big a deal. because I kept most of my promises to myself. I did most of the things. I did the big things in my mind, but the little things are what create the trust in yourself, what create the abilities to go for the bigger. So start today. You absolutely deserve it. Thank you for spending this time with me and for listening with an open heart and for choosing to invest in your growth today. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need the reminder that their dreams still matter. Sometimes one conversation, one message, one moment of encouragement can change everything. And if you want to go deeper, my book, Rise, Believe, Become, was written for the in-between seasons, the moments when you know there's more for you, but you're still finding the courage to take the next step. You can find my book on Amazon, and remember, no matter what phase you're in, your dreams don't expire. Until next time, keep rising.